Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Apocalypse World. We have an apocalypse ready. I'm going to just go ahead and switch out our overlay because I got one with everybody's character names on it now. Boop. There we go.
Let's apocalypse,
Let's
Adam.
let's apocalypse. Let's do the thing. So we got some characters. We got a little situation brewing. Let's talk about let's vignette the moment. Let's figure out where we're at now. So I imagine that most of the action takes place in the temple or around the temple. Do you envision Tyne and Swift? I guess is there a community built up around it? Like, do people live in this area, or is this like a holy site you're not allowed to set up camp in?
I mean, I live here.
Well, I'm not asking about
Other
you.
people who like serve the source live here. I
Okay,
think,
so it's
yeah, you can totally live here. It's like a commune.
so what's
Yeah.
what's the work that gets done there?
You got to grow food. You got to upkeep the grounds.
You have to care for the sick and wounded, I'm assuming, because it's
You
a
have to
healing
like
thing.
participate in the ritual,
Okay.
and also you have to dig the fucking fire trench around the whole compound so that it doesn't get burned down in one of the forest fires that happen like every season.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, you know that there are other people who these are sacred fires, right? And that your entire temple is an affront to the great burning. How dare you?
Yeah, they're
I don't
called
do
most
any of
people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there are people now. I assume they're not all as like intense about the holiness of the place as you. Like they just pay fealty to the laws, so they're allowed to drink of the well and eat of the food that you grow, right?
I
Like,
think a lot of the people who follow the laws are really zealous about enforcing them.
hmm
That's part of what has allowed it to sustain itself, is that it's like really fascist, basically.
yeah.
It's just like super hard line about all the rules.
So, Brace, how long have you been in the temple? Like, is this a few months, a few years, a few days? How
I
long
think
have you
it's
been?
fairly recent due to the fact that I feel like if I was with Dice and she's coming back to like confront them about me, or the fact that Tynan, they don't really like me. So I feel like it's fairly recent. Otherwise, things would have kind of settled a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not coming to argue with Tynan. I'm coming to get you. Like, I don't care about him or whatever. You know?
Yeah. So you're really focused on. So I guess that's the thing. Is this how much do you travel, Dice? Like, are you like let's talk about the range of your gang. If you're not here at the temple causing trouble, how far afield do you wander? Do you have a home base, or are you just like nomadic?
I think we sort of just we just set down where we end up. We've been a lot of places, and if you have a home base, people come and visit you there, and that's generally not a thing that we want.
Right.
We have made a great number of enemies across.
I was about to ask you. So
Jeez.
how in what shape did you leave the last place? Are you a cluster of locusts, or like let's envision, if you will, the last piece of civilization that you left, the last community. What did
I'm
that place?
guessing it's probably the army base where we got all our guns.
Cool. So just field of corpses then. Did you have to take it from someone, or was it just hidden?
Just a couple of people, maybe 10 or so people thinking they could just hole up in the army base and keep that as their little stronghold.
So
But
how
if you don't have enough guns, you can't,
how many
deal
of them saw the error of their ways and joined up with you?
the half that were left after the first attack.
Okay, and who's the leader of that little faction of your gang? These sort of new guys, these former military folks who are now
Oh, you mean
with
you mean Smith? Yeah,
Smith? Okay.
Smith is he's a well-to-do fellow when it comes to the apocalypse. Might have been in quarantine or something at some point, and they thought, oh well, we used to work for the army, and we'll go to this base, and then we'll be fine. But they don't know much about the apocalypse. They don't know much about this world that they're in anymore, and they made a judgment error. But Smith and his boys, yeah, they signed up.
Right. Okay. So they're the smart ones. The rest of them, you killed them, I assume. in the
Oh, yeah.
battle? Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
I have a question for Andrew. Would your temple be a place of sanctuary? Like, if I came here
Yeah,
and was
totally.
like, I don't want to be with them, would you be like obligated to be like, she doesn't want to be with you? So like, or would you be like, go, I don't want to deal with your problems?
So because I didn't take a slave who crosses the threshold is free,
It's not the law.
it's not the
not
law,
the law.
right? Like, but you know, softly, yes, we're just like, yo, if they're here working with
Yeah.
us, then they're part of our community.
So is that Splender's influence that comes that way, or is this you saying like it's got to be like this?
I mean, I think it's just a matter of like a community is not very strong if it's willing to cannibalize itself in that way.
Okay.
So basically, I came here and said, I don't want anything to do with them, and they're coming back, and I'm just like, I still don't want anything to do with them. So you deal with my problems, is what I'm here.
So okay, so let's.
Oh, Tynan would be like, yo, this is your problem.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah, I don't let people need to like, I think part of this whole like keep your agreements and speak the truth thing is like, yeah, like you are responsible for yourself still.
Okay.
And
So-
like we'll help you.
So
but we're not
Tynan,
for you.
did you make an agreement to like make like this place safe for Brace? And do you now regret it, or is that like unspoken? Because like I feel like if you made a promise, you're gonna have to keep it. But if you never made the promise, then maybe it's a false illusion of security.
Yeah, I don't think I made a promise.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Brace,
maybe.
who promised to protect you, even though they knew Tynan would be mad about it? Who is this like secret deal with? Like someone in the community is like, don't worry, like everybody else might hate you, but I'm gonna keep you safe. Who is this
So
moron?
who like were the people that is your group, Tynan? You said you had like
There's Melissa, who's like a scout and watcher type person.
Mhm.
There's Splendor, who is a mid-sized badass, a mid-range badass named Splendor. And then there's Nipperkin, who's the healer who you borrow stuff from.
I think that Splendor. I think that I like
Okay.
manipulated Splendor into promising to like
Oh
protect me.
shit. Okay. So when you say manipulated, do you mean like manipulated, or like you will do as I say? Let me just touch your face with my creepy glove.
Definitely creepy glove.
Oh shit. Okay. Well then, I mean, fuck it.
I mean, so maybe Tynan
Well,
is like that doesn't hold.
let's talk about that role. Let's find out what that looks like, because you have a move. You may have made it in the past, but I'd like to see what that takes the shape of. So you're gonna make your creepy brainer move, and at some point in the recent past, you managed to attempt an in-brain puppet strings on your new friend Splendor.
So do you want me to just roll it? Is that-
Yeah. Roll plus your weird. Okay. All right. So you've got a partial success. You got a 7 and 9. You have 1. It's a tenuous hold, but at your will, no matter the circumstances, you can spend 1 for 1 to inflict 1 harm AP on Splendor. And what was the command? What's Splendor's command? Because it's a thing you planted in their brain.
I feel like I knew that the rules where you keep to your oaths here. Oath breakers are, what was the law for oath breakers?
You get executed.
So I made Slender take an oath that is it Slender a girl or a boy or
It's Splendor, and I don't
Splendor.
know what's Splendor's gender.
I think Splendor is a tough young lady.
okay.
Like
so,
maybe a little too young, really, to be doing what she's doing.
Right.
So I made
Oh, that's
Splendor
gonna be
wear an
fun.
oath to protect me. And so if Splendor doesn't keep to her oath, then she would
Sure.
Yeah, I think Splendor is a well-armed and very angry 17-year-old.
Nice. Oh, poor girl.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I want her. I
Like she's
want her.
very serious and will fuck you up.
Yeah. And now she has a command in her brain. If she fulfills the command, if there's a situation in which she actively protects you, Brace, that counts for your remaining hold. But yeah, she has this seed in her brain somewhere that she really needs to look out for you. And she's like, you can, if she doesn't, you can use your hold to hurt her.
Okay, and would I be like, if she does actively protect me, would I be able to like attempt to roll and drain puppet strings again, or is that like a one-time use for character?
Yeah, it's not a one-time use. You can keep puppet stringing people forever and ever if you want to.
Okay.
You'll just need to get an opportunity to do so in the fiction. Okay. So
Okay.
for some reason, Tyne and Swift, Splendor seems to have taken to Brace like a puppy protecting its master. Splendor is still part of your community, still fundamentally sort of your NPC, but really she belongs to me and I can do what I want.
I mean, people are responsible for their own decisions, and if she wants to get hurt,
I love your character, Andrew. I already love them.
So I want to talk about before we jump into like actually like doing some scenes, because I would actually really like to just start with the gang rolling up to the temple. Like I'd love to see that happen, because I know y'all have moves for that shit. But let's so how long when did you blow into town? How long have you been in the temple, and have you made it clear why you're here?
this time also.
Right, this time.
What
Yeah,
brought you here this time?
have you come to talk to Tyne and Swift, or what's your deal?
I think we've been here before. I think Wynn's been here before, and the last time was before it was set up as a temple, which was around the same time that I originally met Tynan.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, I've just kind of headed into town. People are aware, but I've not had a chance to speak to Tynan yet. So I think it's very recent, in the last couple of days. I think I know why I'm in town, and I might as well say it to add to the fiction. I think part of Wynn's deal is the fact that I don't think it's a super straightforward apocalypse. I think it's more of a kind of time-based weirdness. Like this area is in a particular time that's kind of different to another one. Maybe, for example, where the
Like the
world
flow
already
of
ended.
time is weird.
Yeah, and I think what draws me to this place specifically is the idea of there being the ghosts in the water that makes it like a nexus of like connecting the past to this particular place. And I think that's super awesome here.
And Dave too, this place is calm and quiet and has a deep, like it's a very, I think it's like it's a very slow place too. Like,
yeah,
so
like
that might...
the specific importance of it as a place, as a nexus of different times.
Nice. When does like the protagonist of his own video game that we'd only get to see a little bit of?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So you, I guess, did you have the sort of formal meeting with Tyne and Swift? Because you try to you have that greeting people move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen, or did Wynn just kind of slip past that and hasn't been officially greeted yet?
Yeah, it depends on how much of a ghost ninja you want to be, but Tynan would tries to formally greet everyone. That's one of their big jobs.
Okay, yeah, if you're going to do that with the Chopper gang as your first thing, let's say we've already done that in that case, just so you don't just make it twice. And
no, if we have done it, then I think Adam's going to want us to roll.
You're going to need to roll,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
and so I can ask you questions, which will be cool, and then we can but that can just be from the backstory, and then we can play.
Yeah, let's do it. It already happened. This is what you learned about Wynn.
No, we had this conversation a really long time ago when I met you first, before this place existed, and I was like, "You've got some things that you need to ask me, don't you?" And you're like, "Yeah, I totally do."
So there's some weird uncanniness in our relationship as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I only get to ask you one.
Yeah, and I get to make a move, so that's nice.
Yeah. Are you hiding a disease? Are you sick?
Um.
Because the water can cure you. So
Yeah, I think
Tynan is looking for signs of illness.
I don't think I'm physically sick. I think I'm a bit wrong.
You have a soul sickness?
Yeah, Yeah, I think it's to do with that. Like,
Yeah, and so like
You're
there was a
being
moment where like
perfect.
Tynan like cupped one of your hands in theirs and
Yeah.
just like looked in your eyes and just said, "It's good that you've come. You're in the right place."
So Brace, you were there for you were there for when Wind came back. Like you've seen Wind since. Tynan didn't go out and meet him, but you've been able to like observe him because you're watching him. And then I think that there's something in Wind, something about Wind, or something physically like in him that you want. That you don't know why, but you feel like, I don't know. You play with your scalpels more when you are around him. So that's a thing, and maybe it's part of why you've been observing him. But there's something desirable in him.
Maybe something that I could cut out, or just
maybe some kind of tumor you could like get out of there and play around with. So let's start with the sound of motorcycles. The temple.
The rumble and roar in a quiet place of 30 plus motorcycles rolling up to your front gate.
Yeah. Yeah. So the serenity of the temple.
Like dust cloud. If you got like a camera shot from on high, there's like that dust cloud of like where we've been and down the road, and there's that noise that is unmistakably like that Mad Max-esque like engine roaring,
that kind of ripping sound,
motorcycle ripping noise. Yeah, as this gang basically like rolls up to your front gate. I guess if you're like a temple, like an archway or whatever.
So there's like tilled land, like so like it's like temple up here. There's the road. And then there's like a path that kind of winds its way up, and there's like tiered, like tilled areas. And Tynan is down in one of them, like digging and like doing farm work. And they've got their like sleeves rolled up.
So
I think I'm literally just like watching time work and
You're like on a stump, like watching. Yeah.
point of order. If we're making these rolls, should we highlight stats first?
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot. I guess people want experience. So yeah,
Twilight Warrior Listen.
it's because
I would love some experience.
yeah, it's because it's just a thing that I'm so used to not thinking about. So highlighted stats at the beginning of any session or at the end if you forgot. Anyone can say, "Hey, let's change our highlighted stats." When someone says it, do it. So hey, we did it right because we forgot and then someone remembered. Thanks, the game. Okay, so you go around the circle again. We follow the same procedure we used to highlight them. So it's the person who has the highest hex with you gets to highlight a stat, and then I get to highlight one.
So
Okay.
highlight like one of our sharp, hard, cool stats.
Yes,
Yeah.
and whenever you roll the highlighted stat, you mark experience.
Dave, pick one for me.
I have I'm -1 on you, so I don't.
No. I have +3 on my sheet. for
Right.
Wind.
Again, it's a bit
Sheet.
confusing. It's whoever. Like, let's go around. So let's do it this way. This can be a little less confusing. So who has the highest hex with Wind? What is
No,
everybody's hex?
Adam, it's different now.
Oh, they fixed it. Okay.
Yes. So
It's so confusing.
choose one of the characters with the highest hex on your sheet.
Yeah.
Ask
and tell
that
them
player
to.
which
Okay.
of
tell them to do it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
so
asked
Dave.
because I have +3.
Perfect. Okay, that works much better. So Dave, what stat do you want Andrew to highlight?
I think you're going to be dealing with some difficult personal conversations with a bunch of weird people and a bunch of change. So I think you're going to need to be hot.
Okay.
Okay.
What should I highlight?
I will highlight your hard.
Great.
Sorry, they're probably both your lowest.
I have hard 1, hot 0.
Okay,
cool.
not that bad.
That's fine.
Okay. So I guess then anyone else who hasn't gotten highlight yet, pick whoever has the highest in your sheet.
Sign it. Give me one.
Weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't worry, Elf. I want you to be hard too.
yeah.
Okay.
Giant has to give me one too.
I will highlight your sharp.
Sharp. Okay.
Weird for sure.
Weird for sure.
Totally weird. Yeah.
I'm gonna let Brace choose mine.
I'm gonna go with hot for you. Definitely hot.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. I will choose cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I'm good at. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and backfill your XP if you rolled Tynant or Brace if you rolled your.
Way to highlight outside all of my moves, y'all.
So wait. So I rolled weird. That was weird, right?
Yeah, and you have weird highlighted, so just check a experience.
Okay.
Also, everybody, let's talk about whether your lifestyle is 1 or 2 barter. I think for Brace and Tynant, you're living a 2 barter lifestyle.
But I'm a kept brainer.
Well, your options. We'll talk about this, but it sounds to me like it would cost 2 barter per session for your lifestyles because you're part of a thing. You're like participating in the community. You have it pretty good, especially if you're kept. And then for the other 2, it's 1. And at the beginning of the session, if you either can't or won't spend your barter, then you're gonna have to answer some. You gotta tell me and answer some questions. But I think at the outset, you're probably all okay.
I have enough barter,
okay,
to
okay.
pay for my lifestyle.
So we would
I'll
just
spend my
erase the number of barter from
Yeah,
our.
just lower your barter. Yeah, and this is a new thing for 2nd edition where you have to pay for your ongoing kind of existence because otherwise, like in 1st edition, people would just accumulate barter and not have anything to do with it.
I'm kind of curious what happens if I don't, so I'm going to say that I'm not going to.
Okay, all right. So if you don't or can't pay,
Yeah, I'm just not going to.
then I need to figure out. I need to ask you some things. So I can either say okay. So first of all, if you're not paying for it, who's going to pay a barter to take care of wind? Okay, there you go. Problem solved. So Tynant is pay, and Tynant knows that they're paying for it. And hold the fucking phone here, Tynant. Is that not explain to me how this works vis-a-vis the law of doing work?
Oh, he gonna do work.
All right, so it's an unpaid debt that you need to cash in on and soon. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Also, I know that he's sick.
Okay. All right. So that's fine. Cool. So yeah, if you're paying 2 barter, you have a quality of life that's substantially notably better. Whatever everybody else is eating, drinking, or wearing, you're eating, drinking, or wearing better. You sleep more comfortably and safer, and have more control of your personal environment. You're doing good. So that's good for y'all. Cool. Okay. So meanwhile, let's talk about the bikes roaring up.
Mountain
Yeah.
Road.
So I mean, I think
Rip up the road
Yeah.
towards the building.
you're a ways off yet, Dice, but everyone knows you're coming, right?
Oh yeah.
The people you're going from, like if they were still alive, they could still hear you going. And
People know Dice is coming from a long way off.
Yeah, the thunder is rolling. So Tynant, traditionally, I imagine Lissa would be the one that would be informing you of like, even though it's clear and obvious that something's coming.
Yeah.
There's a job to be done, and so Lissa, maybe we see the 2 of you. I guess you're working. You said right in the field.
Yeah, I'm down in the fields.
Okay. What does Lissa look like? How is this person accoutered? I forgot how many fucking notes you got to take as the MC in this game. I'm like gonna run out of paper.
I absolutely adore the fact that this world is built up, so much already. But
So
anyway.
Lissa is a professional snitch role in the community, right?
Right.
So most of what she does is like rat people out.
Yeah.
But she's like the secret police of the temple.
Right. And are we talking like kept CI or like secret police in the like scary fascist sense of the? Do people fear? I mean, everybody hates her, but do they fear her, or is it like resentment and they can't get at her because of you? Like, what's her relationship with like the people?
She's serving a like important role in the community, so everyone like both loves and hates her because she calls out other people on their shit, which affects us all, right? So when other people are being bad, we love that she has found someone who's doing the bad thing, and because then we get to punish them, and we're all kind of, addicted to that. But then also, we hate her when she's catching us in the wrong.
Sure. Okay. So here's some things you notice about Lissa. She's got a new gun. She's got a gun you haven't seen before. It's a real fancy, I think like a hunting rifle. And it's in great shape. Looks real good. But you've never seen it before. And she's got it slung across her back when she comes out to the field to find you. And she's making it real clear to everybody that it's new. Like, it's like she's wearing a brand new hat, right? Like, she doesn't need it. She's in the walls of the temple. She doesn't normally go around armed, but she's got this gun, and she's just like making sure, you can see it in her eyes. She's making sure that people see her carrying it. And she approaches you in the field and brushes her hair out of her face and stands nearby, letting you like finish your work. She doesn't want to interrupt.
I finish like turning this one patch of soil, and I point the shovel, and I have like a rag or whatever tucked into my pants, and I like pull it out and wipe my hands, and like walk over to talk to her.
Mm-hmm. She just kind of like cocks her head and looks at you and says, "We got guests."
I can hear. And like some of the crows that are like the birds that hang out here have all like taken to the air and like flying off somewhere else where it's less loud.
Yeah, and you look around and you notice like what's the size what's the size of the community around here? Like how many people do you think are like living in the temple on an average kind of day?
Like at most 30.
Okay.
But probably less.
Right. So just compare and contrast with the number of people who are about to show up.
No, exactly, right? It's
30.
like the population will more than double. In all likelihood.
Okay.
And so I like look down at Lissa's gun and I'm just like, well, you might be needing that today. Just keep an eye out.
Oh.
She, you see a complex set of emotions kind of go over her face, right? Happy that you noticed it. It's something else, some uncomfortableness that she tries to hide. And then a moment of sort of fear, and she says, do we need splendor?
We always need splendor.
She kind of like, sighs.
Can I
She's
like without speaking, just like go to get her?
Yeah, do we just notice that Brace was there and no one noticed all along? Like, where?
Yeah, Brace just like gets up and moves.
Right, yeah. Like an octopus suddenly, like, by moving, we're like, oh shit, you were there the whole time. Yeah, sure. So Brace, like, what were you doing during this conversation that nobody noticed you being present for?
I was literally like sitting like on a stump in the shade, not working at all, like playing with my scalpels and like just staring at Tynan.
Yeah, while I'm like turning.
Staring.
Working.
And when they say Splendor, I perk up and get up and just go in the direction where I know that Splendor is.
Yeah, and I like put my, just now cleaned hand on Lissa's shoulder, and I just say, "Our peace and quiet is every now and then bought with blood. This might be that time. It might not. Let's go get ready." And I like usher her back towards the compound.
Okay. All right. So the three of you, I guess, are going to go together to go get Splendor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Wind, where are you in Splendor? What are you doing?
I think Splendor has just finished learning the folly of her ways on calling me out about not doing work because Tynan hasn't. So we might have just ended a fist fight and she's like around and I'm just standing there.
Okay. So the initial burst of violence is over and Splendor is like on her ass in the dirt. How escalated did this get? Was it just like a fist fight, or like is there like a weapon nearby that she's maybe thinking about using on you?
I mean, my gun is leaned over on the wall, so I'm not planning on using it. I think it was sort of an argument, and I was probably trying to, in a weird way, like incite her to just like a bit of violence, just to kind of get her in the mood, because I'd caught caught on that something was going to happen before it had. I'm just it's actually sparring, but she thinks she's had this like forceful conversation with me. If she goes for a weapon, then that's going to end probably quite badly.
Yeah, I think you see her, you've knocked her down, and you're like, cool, this is over. The master has taught the student whatever the appropriate lesson is. But you catch her looking at there's something nearby she's going to hit you with. What is it? It's not like a gun or a knife or something, but like, yeah, there's something just like nearby that as soon as you like turn your back or anything, as soon as she has the opportunity, she's going to grab it and hit you. What is it?
I think there's like a bit of pipe from this, from like the water drawing up thing that's like nearby because we're towards the center of the temple. And yeah, maybe it's being repaired at the moment. So there's like bits and bobs, like tubing and piping and valves and stuff.
Sure, and there's some people who were previously working on that, but you've now distracted them. And okay,
yeah, so we should go for that.
All right, what are you gonna do?
I think I give her the look. I think, yeah, I think I'm too dangerous and sexy. You don't actually want to hurt me. Like, you might think you do, but actually not.
Okay. So this is, I mean, we're indicating now then that this is a charged situation, whereas maybe it wasn't before, because you use this move when you enter a charged situation, so now it's charged. Like, maybe she wasn't real serious about it before, but as soon as you look at her, it's like, do it or don't. You've just charged the situation. Why don't you go ahead and roll your dangerous and sexy and see what she does?
You just give her the look.
Oh shit! Cool. Okay. On a miss, your enemies identify you immediately as their foremost threat. So you give her the look, and has she seen you like do this to people before? That like, oh, don't even think about it.
Unlikely, but maybe I've just totally misjudged her personality, and this just isn't going to work on her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So I think
people often underestimate her.
Totally, yeah. You give her a look, and she sees it, and she locks eyes with you, and she shakes her head. She's like, "Oh fuck no!" and like grabs the pipe, and in one motion, like gets up and comes at you with it. Like, this fight's not over. You don't get to decide that. What are you going to do? She's coming at you with a pipe. She's going to hit you in the head. It's going to hurt real bad. What do you do?
I think I'm just going to...
what point are we going to enter here? Will you, like, let us know when
I'll let you know, yeah. Okay. It'll be the like... Well, I'm looking for it. We're waiting for that moment.
At the worst possible moment.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to... try again and take hold of the situation. I'm gonna, since I've noticed the others are coming, I'm going to try and maneuver it so that as she swings at me, she kind of like falls down, and the pipe is like roughly in the right place that she's like bending down and picking it up, so they don't even know we were fighting at all.
Right, you're gonna try to just like judo her out of this situation. Okay, yeah. Sure. I mean, I think this is acting under fire, right? You're enduring the fact that she wants to hurt you. You don't want to hurt her exactly. You just want to redirect her energy. Yeah. Let's have you act under fire here. Sorry, it's called do something under fire now. It's fine. Oh yeah, you're so cool, Wind. Yeah, so I think this is when Tynant, Brace, and Lyssa come up. Tynant, you notice initially like something has disturbed the flow. Like you can feel like people are not working. The gears have come to a halt. There was some kind of like waterway repair project that was happening here, but people have stopped. They put down their tools. They're all looking. There's a sort of circle that's formed, and when you walk up, you feel the charge,
the little twinge of like
something's off here, and yeah, it looks like Splendor has like tripped or like stumbled.
Yeah, so immediately my watchful eyes are in full gear here, and I'm just like looking around. And I see Wind with that like look on his face where he's like a little bit smug and maybe, and then like her on the ground, which is not like. So yeah, I want to read the situation.
Sure. Yeah. Totally. Okay.
So I get to ask a question.
I'm totally going to interfere.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
My smug face is just like, yeah, this is what I'm totally saying that it is. But it's been but I kind of trust you, so I'm not very good at it. So I'm just going to go 2d6 minus 1.
Oh shit! Right.
I mean, it's on the cusp. You might as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk about interfering and how that works. So what Tynan Swift is trying to do here is like read the situation, try to figure out like, okay, hold on, what's actually going on here? And Wind is actively putting up the cool field to be like, you can't. I'm cold as ice.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So that 7 on aid and interfere reduces Tynan Swift's roll to a failure, meaning Tynan, do you still get one question if you fail in this version? I can't remember.
Ask one anyway, but prepare for the worst.
Okay, sure. So I'll tell you probably something that Tynan thinks is going on. You as a player will know what's actually happening. But as a result, Win, because you got a 7 to 9, you expose yourself to some sort of danger or retribution here.
Okay, so who's the biggest threat here?
What do you consider a threat? A threat to what? You personally, or like the general ongoing okayness of your temple?
To order here, because I'm like looking for a problem to solve.
It's gotta be Wind.
Yeah, I mean, it's Splendor. Splendor's. Someone needs to grab the chain and yank real hard because Splendor. Yeah. This is the and maybe you see this as like Splendor picking a fight with Wind over something, but she's been a problem for a while now. Like there's something wrong with her. She's been getting in fights and like
puberty,
right. Something's off with her. She needs to have a sit down conversation with you. But you Wind is of no consequence here. Wind is like problem free as far as you can see. Maybe you don't even notice that he's a part of the situation. But
I think.
The danger. I was just before the danger here for you, Wind, is Brace lurking behind. Wind's fucking with your shit. Splendor
Wind is fucking with my shit.
Yeah.
Splendor's fine.
Yep. Okay, so Tynan, sorry, you.
Yeah, so what's going on here?
So I want to go up to Splendor, who has obviously like been, beaten or wounded, and I just like go up to her and like without saying anything, I help her up, and like the whole time I'm staring at Wind.
So yeah, you walk over. Splendor is talking to Tynan, so looking at Tynan while you walk over, and Splendor is like, nothing. I fell. It's fine. And yeah, reaches out and you grabs your hand, Brace, and you pull her to her feet. And Tynan, you notice that when Splendor pulls her up, she stands in front of Brace, like between you and Brace.
Yeah. Well, anyways, some people are coming up the road. They may not be friendly people. I want us to be ready.
She nods and she sort of instinctively like checks her gear, right? Like she checks the straps on her like armor, and she goes to like check for a gun, and it's fallen out of the holster. She looks back and it's sitting at your feet, Wind. Like when you judo flipped her gun came out of her holster. It's just like a Glock or something. It's just sitting in the dirt.
Yeah. So I just pick it up. And very casually kind of check it over, check the slide very quickly. And I say, not terrible.
She looks at you, and you sense like she wants to like come up to you and take it from you, but she's afraid of getting judoed again. And she just kind of like looks at you. She's like, give me that fucking thing. And like kind of like puts her hand out, but doesn't like aggressively approach you.
So yeah, then I just say, good. That's what you're going to need with these folks. And I kind of flip it over and hand it to her butt first.
Okay. Sure. So she takes it and puts it in the holster. And she looks at Lissa, and then looks at Lissa's gun, and then at Lissa, and something happens between the two of them. There's a look where she kind of like quirks an eyebrow, and Lissa gives her like a not now look.
Can I like read into that?
Yes, you can.
What that
Who are you trying to read?
I'm definitely trying to read Splendor because I know Splendor better.
Sure, and
So I
because
wanna
she's your
read-
implement of violence, so.
So does a brainer still roll plus sharp, or do I roll plus weird?
Unless you have another move.
Unless I picked that
Yeah.
stat. Okay.
Yeah, so you're gonna roll plus.
Well, this is gonna be great. Okay.
You can do it, I believe.
But I get experience, right?
Yeah. You whenever you roll, succeed or fail. Okay.
So I still get to ask one anyway.
Yes. Yeah. What do you want to know?
I want to know what should I be on the lookout for in this like charged situation. Like they're obviously communicating something that isn't like actually being verbally communicated. So like
Yeah. Lissa
what am I-
Lissa has a secret, and Splendor knows what it is.
Okay.
That's what you
Figure
pick
that out
up. But I think also the interchange between them, because you failed, they both notice you, and now they know that you know there's a secret between them. So like, Lissa,
know
it's a
that you
complicated moment because
I know
Lissa,
that you know that I know.
yeah, like Splendor looks at Lissa's new gun. Lissa's like, "Not now, bitch," and then they both look at you like, "Oh shit, she saw that."
He's on to us.
Yeah. So there's gonna be. Let me make a note. There's gonna be a conversation later. Lissa needs to talk to you
Many
about
conversations
something.
are going to be happening later.
Yeah.
Brandon needs to talk to Splendor. I need to talk to Lissa. Wind wants to just fuck up everything.
And I'll be here to disturb the peace soon enough.
Yeah. Mere moments from now.
And so, like, there's all this, whatever nonsense happening. And so Tynan's just like, I need to get changed and greet our guests. I'll be out soon. And I just like walk off to my little room
Okay.
into my nice clothes.
Okay. So when Tynant leaves, Wind, what do you do?
Yeah, even if I'm not going to show it, I think I'm invested enough in this place that I'm going to be keeping a wary eye as well on this meeting. So I guess I go and find somewhere that's like slightly both supposed to be out of the way and also where I'm very obvious to them coming up.
Right. So you want to stand somewhere high up with your fucking scarf flapping in the wind, so everyone knows you're there watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget the rifle. Just like point up so that it's really
Totally. Well, and that's the great thing about the Battle Babe. You just need to just be as cool as you can. Just do the coolest thing, and everyone will see you and know how cool you are.
Just be cool.
Just be cool.
So as I also exit the situation, like I have the glove like on my left hand, and it's
Yeah,
like
let's talk about it. Is it like real clear and obvious? You have like this weird cyber glove, or is it
I don't
more
like.
subtle?
I think it's just. Like, I think all the weird stuff is not super like. It's not like cyber. It's just like a long black glove that goes like all the way up to like my shoulder, and it might have a weird like iridescence, but it doesn't obviously look like that's a fucking technology thing on the arm.
Is it like there's like metal woven into the fabric?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's like if there's anything like working bits of the glove, it's not in the glove. Like it might be like somewhere else, like hidden in like nothing that I'm wearing. Like,
Oh, it totally should have a thing that sits like right at the base of your neck. There's like this little like.
Well, you already dress super weird, so it's not like it's like you're wearing basically nothing everywhere else, but you have this one arm covered.
just like totally covered. And so I have this glove on my hand, and obviously anyone that has been around me is aware of it. And so I go up to Lissa and like I like stroke a finger down her new weapon. And I look at her.
Yeah, she recoils from you, like just generally, because she doesn't like you.
Yeah, but I don't touch her.
You
I'm,
don't
like,
touch her,
threatening
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
threatening her with like, I'm going to figure this out later.
I mean, okay, are you threatening her like right now? Like, do you want her to do something, or are you just trying to make her scared of you?
I'm basically like, I am threatening her with like, she better give me the information, like not necessarily right now, but like of her own free will, or I will take it from her. Is what
You're
I'm
going to
threatening.
talk one way or another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you're manipulating her.
Okay.
You know, you say you've told me what you want her to do, right? Is like divulge her secret. Yeah, roll plus hot.
Hot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
16.
All right. So on a 7 to 9, they'll go along with you, but need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. So you need to put some. It's not really a threat because I'd be going aggro. You're not gonna be like, tell me or I'll hurt you. But
Yeah.
like, some like concrete assurance that you're gonna like have this conversation more seriously later.
Yeah.
What does that look
And-
like?
I mean, I think it is what I just did. I'm making like I'm saying like, hey, like
Okay, so you're going from the like subtle, like you have this like weird glove and people, you're gonna like, I will take this out of your brain. All those rumors you've heard about me, they're true, and I will do them to you.
yes.
So
that's
the concrete assurance is like giving up your secret identity a little bit when it comes to Lisa.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I was assuming that anyone who's been around me is aware that it's not just a glove. Anyone who's not been around me might just be like, weird glove.
Sure, but now she's sure.
She's very sure and probably scared.
Okay, you do that. She shivers, like you see her like tremble and like pull back a little bit. She gets too scared to look at you anymore. Like this all happens in a second. She gets too scared to look at you. She looks over at Splendor. Splendor just kind of like sneers at her a little, like you got yourself into this. And then you get like, yeah, she kind of like you have that. She's gonna approach you at some point, or the next time you talk to her, you can grill her about what her deal is. But I
Okay.
think she breaks there. She's like I need to be at the and she just turns and like starts heading for the gate.
And I'm just gonna take Splendor's hand with my other hand and just like follow her wherever like she's going.
Okay, so you touch Splendor a lot.
Yeah.
Does she think you like her? Is that because? Okay, all right. So how well known is this? Does she talk about it? Is she telling people that you're her girlfriend, or
I don't care. Like
so
I
you just wouldn't even notice?
no.
Okay,
I mean, I am very obviously like possessive of her. Like
So
people.
I guess the question
Could
is,
easily be mistaken for
Yes.
you being in love with her. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So is that a like? I guess is that common enough that Tynan Swift would know this? I mean, I assume you would know.
Tynan
know
at
this
least
rumor.
knows that we've like. I mean, obviously, the oath thing is the oath of protection is one of the reasons why I feel safe here because she can't break that oath. And
Cool. So
Tynan,
she just thinks she loves you. She doesn't realize you've planted a bomb in her mind.
She's too young to know that these aren't
Wow.
real feelings.
Yeah. Oh, it's her first crush, but it's also a psychic implant.
I mean, really, what's the difference?
yeah.
What is
so,
what
yeah,
is love but a
I-
psychic bomb?
I am touchy feely with her in a possessive "this is mine" way, but she might think of it as
She's proud of it. She's proud of her weird girlfriend.
Hell yeah. Who wouldn't
Can
be?
we're cutting now to meeting.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So the next scene is what do the outside walls look like? Is this you talked about the sort of fire trench, but
Yeah, so there's just a big dirt like trench that's like 4 meters wide that's dug on either side of so we're like up against the mountain side where the trees stop, and then like where there are trees down below, we've dug these 2 trenches down to the road, and that
Okay.
kind of delineates our space so that we can't get burned down in a forest fire.
cool. I'm gonna make us a new screen in Roll20 that we can just start like drawing shit on. So
Okay, I'm a draw.
yeah, let's use that. Let me just set the background to a less horrific color. Because white is hard to look at in a massive swoop, so let's gray it out a little. Cool. Okay, so let me pull everybody else over to it. And there we go. Yeah. Okay. So so there's a trench, but there's no like walls with guns on them or anything.
No.
I guess the first person, because you did say you were going to be here in advance. Wind, you've got a good line of sight, and you know what's the impression that your gang gives off? I'm intimidated I'm just intimidated to talk to you. Look how tough you are.
The glasses are my favorite.
Tell me about what is
What's
what does he
Dice's
see?
gang look like?
Yeah, what does Dice's what does the thundercloud look like as it approaches?
So along the road, there's like this dust cloud, obviously behind the like leading vehicles, of which Dice's is one. The gang in general is on sort of bikes that look like, you know, they look like modern day sort of motorcycles, except that they've been either repurposed with some, you know, crazy metal like welded to them, or like there's a trowel on the front of one, you know, like these kinds of things. Like,
Are we so when we talk about the savagery of your gang, is this like, you know, human heads impaled on spikes kind of savage, or are we talking like
we're not quite that level. Like,
Right,
human
okay.
heads, we're not like cannibal crazy. But we are like fuck your shit up for no reason crazy.
right? Okay, so skulls painted on stuff rather than like
yeah,
actual
exactly. You know, like horrible tattoos and
Cool.
like, you know, facial scarring and so forth. That kind of thing. And there's a lot of like whooping and hollering, you know, as they
Sure.
come down the road. Basically.
Skulls. Okay, so from your perspective, kind of on a high vantage, Wind, you can see this. You see this cloud of dust and oil fumes and savages approaching the temple. What do you do?
I think what if we watch through Wind's eyes for a moment, there's like there's the dust cloud, and before you see the bikes come out of it and stuff, it's like kind of Napoleonic era, like a cavalry charge almost. You kind of see that overlaid, and then like the dust clears back and you see them, and it's actually the biker gang. And yeah, I guess I'm going to assess because I don't think I've necessarily met these people before. I think I'd like to try and find out, see if I can pinpoint who the boss
Sure.
is, who the big players in the gang.
Okay. I mean, it sounds to me like there's maybe two things going on here. Like you're trying to read the situation, but also it sounds like you're kind of opening your brain, right? The whole like seeing visions thing.
Oh yeah, I totally want to open my brain. That is my favorite thing in the world.
I want to open my brain.
Okay, go ahead and open your brain to the world psychic maelstrom.
I
How does
specifically-
that look? How do you? I want to know what that looks like.
We'll see, I guess.
We'll see,
depending
yeah.
on how well- Yeah.
All right.
Actually, he's
So
not
on a
opening
7 to 9, I'll give you an impression. If you already know all there is to know, I'll tell you that. But so you've described your access to the maelstrom as being kind of like having these out of time like visions.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this over to Dice. Dice, if you, I'll ask Elf. Elf, if you had to pick a figure from history to kind of align with Dice, if you had to pick somebody, who would it be? Are you a Genghis Khan? Are you a?
I was gonna say like an Attila kind of vibe, but I'm chiller than Attila. You know?
Right, Attila the Hun.
It's harder. Attila the Hun, yeah.
Excellent.
I'm not sure. I'm not up on my historical figures.
Yeah, no, that's good.
What
That's
about a
good
video
though.
game character? You might be more up on those, right?
Um,
Video game historical figure.
Yeah, it's
video
all the
game
same. History is a complicated thing.
She's like a less crazy Trevor from GTA 5.
Nice. Okay, I get that. I understand. that completely.
Okay, so the response from the maelstrom, I think, is a sense of scales tipping, of change. Whatever happens, the temple will never be the same after today. And I like the image of Dice as the eye of a hurricane, right? You're the cool
Very
center.
much like everybody else is like, yeah, whoa, whoa, and I'm just like riding, like it's one of those kind of like, I know I'm cool and in charge, and everybody else knows I'm cool and in charge.
Cool. All right. And would you like to also read the situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So sharp.
All right. So what questions would you like to ask?
Oh snap! I closed it.
There's handouts in Roll20 too. You don't necessarily need to use there's a basic moves handout in there.
Read a sitch. I think when you read a situation, ask 3. Which enemy is the biggest threat?
Gosh, that's
in my gang.
Well, is it you or your gang? I think is probably the most logical delineation that we.
Or
can
is it
do.
behind you?
I mean, the biggest threat is the gang as a whole. Like, it's a pretty big gang, right?
Yeah,
like, we're talking about 30 people.
Yeah, there's one homicidal maniac for every person in the temple. If they wanted to,
Yeah.
they could tear this place apart.
Yeah.
So the biggest threat is the balance of power between, like, you may be called on to help Dice keep them under control. If it comes down to it, because they're going to see this place, depending on how the interaction with Tynant goes, they might see this place as something soft to take apart.
Yeah, I mean, even if I personally was like, no, we're going to be chill, I got 30 crazies, like, they do what they want, too.
Okay, what else do you want to know?
Okay.
Battle Dave.
Oh, Dave, yeah.
Battle Day.
I probably should have just named the character that, to be honest. Okay, I think something brought me here, and while this is very present, I'd like to know what my enemy's true position is.
Your enemy's true position?
I guess it depends on what you consider your enemy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you talking about me?
I'm not sure. I think.
Okay, I mean, I think the answer then to that is you can't know until you can figure out what your enemy is, right?
Yeah.
You cannot know their true position until you know them better, whoever they end up being.
Okay. And what should I be on the lookout for?
Pay very close attention to the meeting between Tynant and Dice, because it's gonna set the stage for everything else that's to come.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
acting on any of those answers, you get a +1. So keep in mind what that was, and then I think we're down at the front gate. So Tynant, talk to me. Tell me about the greeting. Is it ritualized? Are there gongs? Do people wave incense? Tell me about this.
So I have like special clothes that I'm wearing. I have some big like long, like not really like robe exactly, but like a really, really long shirt kind of a thing. With like, big sleeves on it and stuff. So it's just lots and lots of fabric. And what's the weather like today?
I think it's probably generally like on the cold side and overcast. Maybe the threat of rain, but not actually raining.
So then I have a scarf as well. This big scarf on. And there's like a small group of us. Like it's like me, Lissa, like just me, Lissa, and Splendor. And that's it.
So why doesn't this draw a crowd? What keeps people from like coming and witnessing this? Because they can hear the noise. They know somebody's coming. They see you in your like greeting regalia.
Yeah, they're probably afraid.
Yeah. Okay. So they're just pretending to go about their business normally, like.
Yeah, exactly. And like they're not obligated to be here, so they can not, and it's fine.
Okay.
And then I have like this like long wooden box that has like skeleton fingers in it, like all in a line, and it's like a token representing the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so like they're here greeting, the dead are here to greet newcomers as well as me. And I feel like it's mostly their laws is
Sure.
kind of the idea, right? Like that it's on behalf of the dead.
Okay. So Dice, how do you roll up?
So we roll up, the gang rolls up right to the point where like we would almost be running over people, you know, that are standing in the door or whatever in the way. And then just everybody sort of like kicks to a stop and the dust sort of like settles, you know.
Right. So you actually like does your gang like do you kind of like respect the front kind of like door where Tynant is, or does the gang go like around Tynant and you're in front of them?
No, it's like me at the front, and then everybody else comes in behind and sort of does the like the spread exactly.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
you know,
Cool.
and then everybody sort of like kicks off and like hops off their bikes, and they're all holding something that looks menacing. Like one guy's got like a stick with nails in it, and another guy's got like an assault rifle. You know, it's very mixed match, sort of like what's going on.
Mhm.
And I step off my own bike and sort of while everybody else is standing, just like still near their vehicles with whatever weapon going like, you know, like or whatever, like that kind of stuff. I hop off my bike and I walk up to Tynan.
Welcome.
I'm looking for someone. Maybe you've seen him. The last place didn't see him. Kind of a shame. Brace.
So where are you during this, Brace? Are you like standing
I'm-
quietly nearby?
I'm like right. I'm basically letting Splendor conceal me like by standing in front of me, but like I'm sitting in that stillness where you won't notice me until I stand up, basically.
Okay.
By the way, I'm a lot shorter than you would imagine the character to be.
Okay.
I'm like 5'3".
Nice.
Yeah, and like Tynant is like 6'3"
Yeah, Tynant's huge, right?
and just like massive. Yeah. And so I'm just like, welcome. Brace is here.
Oh, she's here. Been looking for her.
Well, then you've come to the right place. But it's
Where-
important that you know that while you are here, there are certain rules which we all must follow.
Oh, really?
It is
All right, tell me these rules. Just interrupting you at like every possible instance.
Yeah, so it is important that while we are here, that we honor all agreements that we make, that we honor the dead, that we... There is no pause, but I need to pause and read. That all who are here work to maintain the space and to grow the community. Everyone that is here must drink and eat. Everyone that is here must speak the truth. If you can agree to these terms, then everyone is welcome as well.
I sort of look around to my group of assembled psychopaths.
Yeah, and they're looking like hungrily at all of the like abundance of this place, right? They're seeing people in the field. They're not seeing like, you know, bodies hanging from the walls, and you can definitely see starting to like spread among them this idea that like, oh, I can't wait until she just says kill all these motherfuckers. This is gonna be great.
Everybody's getting ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a hunger that's kind of like rippling through the gang.
Well, how long we stay and how much work you want us to do here depends on how quickly you give me Brace.
I'm sorry, my friend, but I cannot give you something that I do not own. I'm happy to offer you food and drink and shelter. These are all things that I can give and that are ordained for me to give. I can also give you the laws, which the dead have given to me. But I cannot give you Brace.
Do I see Brace? Are you visible?
I don't know.
anywhere?
Let's find out. Like Brace, you're actively trying to stay hidden,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, why don't you, Brace? You act under fire, and you can interfere. Dice.
Okay.
Okay, so I do the roll plus cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interfere is plus what?
It's your hex with Brace.
Okay.
Oh boy, you don't even have to. Don't even worry about it.
Okay.
No, you can see Brace. Yeah, clear as day, standing behind some teenage girl with a sneer on her face and a gun in her hand.
So I just sidestep Tynant, like almost just like whatever, you know.
So Tyner, do you you tell me when you want to trigger the like welcoming move?
Yeah, and my hand just goes out in front of you.
Okay.
And it's like this massive, muscly, but also like really fat arm. It's just like very heavy. And I just catch you. And I'm going to trigger my move, and then I'm going to say some shit to you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
We're going to ask 3.
Okay.
So, are you hiding any weapons?
Yes.
I mean, well, the question is, are you hiding them?
I
'Cause-
mean, not particularly. There's a machete or like a boot knife, like you know, like a large pointy thing hanging off my my belt. But there's also, and you feel it when your arm sort of like hits me.
Yeah.
This massive pistol, like in my jacket, like an absolutely rockin' like Magnum pistol.
And then are like all of you collectively hiding any diseases?
Oh, there's definitely a couple of sick bastards in my array of people, but
And,
I don't.
and so
know.
it's like mentally they are sick. Like,
Well, I mean,
or-
there's definitely that, but there's also like coughing up blood, probably somewhere.
So yeah, I think in this thing, like hiding a disease, you can tell, Tynan, like you can recognize the symptoms of sickness, the things that the water might be able to heal. One member of the gang, Hooch has been around a long time. He's real sick. He's been putting on like more of the like grease like makeup to cover it, but
like pustules and stuff.
no, I think it's like he's like not even like a weird apocalypse disease. Like he probably has like something serious. He's cancer or something. Like he's dying and he doesn't want anyone to know because it would make him weak and they just kill and eat him or whatever, right? Like
and
he's trying to hide
relevant
that.
to this,
Yeah.
my last move, step into the flow. I can heal anyone who is sick. I can heal anyone who's injured. I can calm anyone who's distraught, comfort anyone who's bereft, or reassure anyone who's lost.
Mm-hmm.
So like any of those things would apply as like sickness. Like if people.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of sickness. These people are consumed by their own kind of like violence, essentially. It's keeping them alive. It's working for them, but it's only the eye of the hurricane really has it together, right? Everyone else is swirling around her, and they're all damaged in some way. But yeah, as far as literal sickness goes, yeah, like Hooch, it's one of these things where maybe it's a way through the shield of violence in that like Hooch actually isn't looking at this place like somewhere to chew up and spit out, but as like somewhere safe. To be.
And so for my last question, I will ask, are they keeping any malicious secrets?
Well, the malicious secret that you can tell that I'm keeping is I'm probably going to kill everyone here if I don't get exactly what I want. I mean, it's not really a secret. It's kind of what I'm telling you.
Yeah, well,
You
but
know?
then in terms of like, you're like, I want Brace, but maybe I see something into like what that's about. Like,
Oh,
is this I want Brace because I want to kill them and eat their flesh? Or
I
like,
want Brace because she used to work with me, and honestly, I like it when people do what I say without having to kill them, better than having to kill them.
So it's a power thing. Yeah.
It's more like I want my brainer back.
Yeah, sure. So is it more about, I guess my question is it more about the utility of having a weird psychic on the payroll, or is it that you're mad because she left?
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Blue Jay, but I think maybe we were like close, like friends as friends go, and the fact that you left is particularly a sore point.
yeah, it's like on a
maybe you
person.
thought we were
I was gonna
friends.
say I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question for Creepazoid. So is this, did you actually have any kind of real human connection with Dice, or is this just another one of your friends?
I don't think I have real human connections with anybody.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I think that I might have manipulated you into thinking that we had a relationship similar to what Splendor and I
And
had.
it's currently backfiring for
Well,
you,
let's
right?
go ahead and roll that then. So at some point, you got your puppet strings on dice here, and the command. I love the idea that the brainer maybe isn't always consciously in control of their commands. Like you might have implanted a like "come and get me" command and then fucked off, right?
Okay.
Or like, yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah, like-
cherish me or like
Yeah,
protect.
love me,
whatever
damn
is.
it.
Okay,
Yes,
so
for
I
Raven.
roll the end brain puppet strings.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
similar jam. You have one hold now. What's the command? You have one hold over dice.
So what did I in the past command dice to
What
do?
did you tell me to do?
Yeah, what did you
Yeah,
leave?
something that would have brought her here. In a
I
way.
think it was a command of like in a situation where I might have been like part in a group that she was wiping out. I think like I emergency like puppet stringed her and was like, I have value. Don't murder me. And
Right.
it turned into I have value, like
Protect me.
go
Yeah.
get me because I have value.
Right. So the command then, and to resolve the command to free yourself of that hold, you just need to take possession of Brace again, which I guess is why you're here. Nice.
Okay,
It's
cool.
why in the last settlement I killed everyone, and the one before that also that. Like, where's
Fucked up
Grace?
your
You don't
time.
have her dead. Where's Grace? You don't have her dead.
Yeah, so to come back to the moment,
Sure.
it's like my arm in front of you stopping you from getting her.
Okay.
And I like push you back, like set you back in front of me. And I just say, now, of course, you are welcome here and welcome to go about whatever business you choose to. But first, we must come to an agreement in honor of the spirits of the dead. And I ask you to understand that this is not my will, but that of the dead, that we must respect.
Okay. I feel like there might be a move being made here. I feel like you're trying to manipulate dice into fucking chilling the shit out.
yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
feel like you gotta
basically-
do something, because, like, my next thing is basically, like, fuck you. You know? So,
Right.
Basically, what I'm saying is follow these rules and play nice, or ghosts will haunt you.
Yeah.
Like in some like fundamental way, you will be cursed.
okay.
Yeah, and I think above and beyond just dice, but like this is a thing. Like your gang, I think, as savages are superstitious, right? Like they have their own like weird rituals and stuff. And while they're bloodthirsty murderers, you don't threaten them with ghosts. Like that's like ooh, some of them are kind
Yeah.
of looking at each other like, maybe
And yeah, it's
Maybe
just
we
as
don't
much for
wanna-
dice as it is for all the others.
maybe we don't want to rampage into this thing. So
So I get a 7 to 9.
All right.
okay, so
Um,
go ahead and tell us what a 7 to 9 on manipulate is.
Sorry, yeah, I've got.
I love the way this changed too. This is great.
So 7 to 9, choose one. If you go along with it, you can mark experience, or if you refuse, erase one of your stat highlights for the remainder of the session. I'm gonna go with.
I think they have to choose.
No, I choose one.
Oh yeah, you choose. Oh right, you choose the threat. Do you want to? Is it the carrot or the stick?
I'm gonna offer Elf the carrot. So if you play nice, at least for now, and like agree to follow the rules, then you can mark experience.
All right. So as you say, like ghosts, and like the threats of the dead or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm like holding
can-
this
you can
box
see
that I
this-
haven't opened
You
yet.
can see this sort of like ripple through the gang of like, oh fuck yeah,
Ghost of the dead.
ghosts. Did you say ghosts? Are those real? Like that kind of stuff. It's like I don't think you can kill ghosts with bullets. All that kind of thing, and in an effort to keep like the tough guy routine going, because that's like really all she has with this gang, she Dice squares up with you and says, all right, we'll follow your rules for now, but I got a rule as well. and that is none of your people be touching my people. I don't want any of that spooky nonsense around any of my guys.
So I have a question for you, Dice. Your gang, I assume, is like do they have relationships with each other, or how does that work?
Are we talking like, are they a pillaging, raping gang?
I'm just wondering about the way that they interact with each other romantically and sexually.
Because this is a gang where basically like people come and go. There's a lot of new blood.
Right,
You
so
know?
you might roll into
So-
into a town, and someone might find a new boyfriend or girlfriend who decides to tag along.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So I think some of them are like disappointed by that, and not in a like, yeah, I was looking forward to like sexually assaulting these people way, but in a like, aw, I'm lonely, and we left my boyfriend at the last town. Like, yeah. So there were some people. So when you're like, yeah, don't touch my people, some of them kind of like look at each other like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I was gonna get down in this town.
Tynan is just like, of course, I will not insist on anything. I cannot be accountable for the behavior of others, though.
Just so long as we're clear to the intent in all this. I'm here for Brace. Once Brace agrees to come away, then you don't have to worry about us hanging around anymore.
Those who wish to stay are welcome
Probably in
to.
your best interests to help me convince Brace to leave. Because I don't really like staying in the same place for that long. I get really restless and just annoyed, you know, and when I get frustrated, things go poorly for everyone.
That does sound very distressing, to be haunted like that.
So Wind and Brace, both of you are sort of observing this scene. So if you want to be keeping a particularly close eye on a person, like either of the two of them, or the situation at large, like let me know what you're doing while this is happening.
Pointedly, however, Adam, when I said no touching my guys, I didn't say they couldn't do touching and then I could blame it on other people. Just
Right.
just saying.
Sure. I mean, you can have a conversation with them about that in a bit.
I kind of think that Brace wants to, like, I want to read the situation and see, like, if I were to refuse to go with her, how many people would be, like, willing to defend my right to refuse?
Sure. Go ahead and read that situation.
Okay, so that's plus sharp. Okay.
Oh, sweet,
God
yes.
damn it, why?
All right. So, what would you like to know? What's your question?
I guess, like, I want to ask it like escape route, but it's more like way in, I suppose. Like, what's my best like way to stay in and not leave? I suppose.
Not get taken away?
Yeah.
I mean, the nature of the place, there's a power here.
Yeah.
And you need to use that. You need to like use the power of the well, the power of the temple to like legit protect you. You know, you're not really a part of this community. You're intentionally like the weirdo on the outside, and becoming a part of it, actually belonging here, that'd be a good way to do that.
Okay.
But so you're standing here, and Splendour's like holding your hand. She's got a gun in her other hand. And she's squeezing your hand real hard, and you know with a certainty that at some point very soon she's gonna try and kill Dice. Like she's just gonna solve this problem for you. Yeah, and you just feel her like you can almost feel her going over her plan in her head. She's not present in the moment. She's living in that future where she sneaks up on Dice and puts a bullet in her head. And she's like, should I do it at night? Where's she gonna stay? Like, how do I get past her gang? Like she's just going through all the variables.
All right. I'm down with this.
So what, Wind? What are you doing while this is happening? And then we should probably take a break because we're playing a lot.
Gosh, I think there's a lot of amusement about Dice's posturing, and like I've noticed the power dynamic that works there, the way that it actually is from answering the questions, and it's like, yeah, you got to keep being a tough guy, and then I can just kind of see it and not be scared of it because I'm super cool. I'm not scared of it.
Super cool.
But I think I come down and maybe attempt to draw everybody's eyes to me, and the fact that there is also danger here. Maybe just make it look like it's not quite as soft a place as they were originally thinking.
Right. So you want
I
to
have this rifle that is a good half as long again as I am tall. And it's got a massive like blade on it, so pretty badass.
Okay.
Not the baddest. Pretty
All right.
badass.
Okay, so I mean, I get what you're doing. You don't have a particular move for it, so I think it's just a case of like being around. But the battle bay by definition is like a noticeable badass. So yeah, I definitely think that like Dice, you see.
My first thought is, I want you.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone does. Everyone does.
Right. And I'm looking through the notes about your hex, and like the two of you don't really have any. It's just sort of like the trust thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the two of us.
We know that.
I look like someone you could trust, and also you think you could take me in a fight.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah. So you come down and make your presence known, and I think everybody kind of like, yeah, definitely pays attention and notices you. And then with the agreement to like play by the rules done, I think the gang starts to like go out into the temple to occupy it.
All the like idle bikes and like vehicles, and there's one like RV van, like that kind of stuff like is like parked willy-nilly around the entrance to this place, like all over the place, and a couple guys stay behind and just like watch the gear.
Right.
But yeah,
the bikes.
they if you don't stop them, they sort of just like wander into your territory. Exactly.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, let's grab a short break, and when we get back, we'll jump forward a little bit, and we'll see how the gang is acclimatizing to life in the temple. So stick around. We got more Apocalypse World coming at you when we get back.